Welcome to Los Angeles. Welcome to the Rizzo Run Club podcast. Welcome to the Rizzo Run Club podcast. My name is Rizzo, and this podcast is dedicated to the Los Angeles running community. If you're new to the channel, my name is Rizzo, and I run all over the LA running community. I run all over the nation and the world. This summer, I'm headed to Paris for the Olympics. I'm going to run in those communities, and I'm also headed to Berlin as well. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So subscribe, stay tuned. It's going to be amazing. Again, this podcast is dedicated to the LA running community. And even if you are listening somewhere else, I hope the stories today inspire you to get out and connect within your own communities. My first guest today is just an amazing runner, an amazing human. I kind of wrote down a couple of things, so I just want to make sure I get this correct. But 52 marathons in 52 weeks. She was in the Spirit of the Marathon movie, Part 2. She's also an LA Marathon ambassador, and she is a published author and a published children's book author. She is an amazing inspiration here in Los Angeles. So today we welcome my friend, Julie Weiss, also known as Marathon Goddess.
Thank you, Rizzo. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, welcome to Rizzo Run Club podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, before we get into any of these amazing accolades, I want to ask you one important question. Did you run today?
I did. I ran almost 11 miles up a mountain.
Nice.
And you know what they say, the view is almost always better at the top, So
Right.
As hard as it was, I just kept going, and I finished that run today,
Yeah.
so I feel good.
Santa Monica Mountains.
Santa
I'm
Monica, we went
assuming.
up to Inspiration Point, which is one of my favorite runs.
Yes.
It's just so beautiful up there.
Yeah.
And to start your run on top of a mountain, start your day
Yeah.
on top of a mountain,
Sure.
it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
LA Running Club.
Yes.
Yes.
Today I was with the LA Running Club.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome. So I thought about how can I really start this? I think the most important thing is, where did Marathon Goddess come from?
That's a great question, because it's kind of funny that before I started running, I was running a lot of marathons, and somebody was like, "Oh, you're a Marathon Goddess." I'm like, "Oh, that's cute." And then I happened to see it, Marathon Goddess on a shirt at a marathon expo.
Sure.
And so I bought the shirt, and then I went to see if that name was taken.
Yeah.
And I trademarked it. It wasn't. So I trademarked
No
it.
kidding.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then, I love the name. And it's not just about me being the Marathon Goddess. I really like to share that it's, if you love running marathons, and, you could, not you, because, anybody, if you want to be a Marathon Goddess, you can be a Marathon Goddess. Whatever it is that you love to do, whether it's running, whether it's marathons, whether it's gardening, just embracing that passion.
Yeah.
And so it's not, and letting that shine, embracing
Sure.
your passion, let it shine. And so, the Marathon Goddess, that's how the Marathon Goddess was born. But I just want to share and let people know that you can be the god or goddess of whatever it is that you want to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I remember watching the LA Marathon one year. The one year I didn't run, and KTLA was out there, and they were following you, and I think it was Jocelyn, and they're like, "The Marathon Goddess is here." I was like, "Wow, that's kind of cool." Yeah.
Yeah, she's the warrior,
Yeah.
and together we're like the warrior and the goddess together. We're running. That was her 100th marathon, I think.
That was her 100th?
That was her 100th
Wow.
marathon, and I was there to support her because she's
Sure.
such an awesome runner. You'll have
Sure.
her on soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So a couple of things I want to get to your story, but I am so excited for the 40th running of the LA Marathon, March 2025.
Me too.
I'd like to know your thoughts on it, and what you're anticipating, expecting, anything you can share with us.
I think that, anything we can celebrate, is wonderful. But the fact that this is the 40th year of the LA Marathon it just brings it's just adds so much more excitement to it. And I honestly think that this year is going to be the most epic year yet, because we're all, we're already the wheels are turning, what we're going to do, what we're going to run, how we're going to show up to this 40th year, what we can bring, and how we can share our love of running with the marathon community. It's just going to be, I think, over the top. I'm putting, there's no stops this year. No stops. We're pulling out all the stops.
Yeah. I've noticed running, group to group in LA here, everyone's, pretty pumped up. They're excited for not only the LA Marathon, but, the Rose Bowl half leading up, as well as Santa Monica Classic coming up. So it's just going to be a trifecta of amazingness.
And I think you get extra medals if you do the Santa Monica Classic and the Rose Bowl half and the LA Marathon. And the Santa Monica Classic is coming up on September 8th, which I'm excited about because, it's kind of iconic, right here in Santa Monica by the Santa Monica Pier.
Yes.
And it's just a 10K or a 5K.
Yeah. Yeah, exciting. Yeah. I think definitely the race, LA Marathon, should sell out, I would anticipate, because, the 40th running. And, we had Lucy and David here recently, and they were talking about trying to reach out to, runners who haven't run LA Marathon in a long time. Maybe they ran the 80s, the 90s, and trying to get those people back out.
Oh, that's a great idea. I think they're gonna see all the excitement, and they're gonna want to be a part of it too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the marathon is, it's next year in March, and we're already excited about it, and it's not even July yet. I mean, we're already gearing up for this. So I think we're gonna inspire a lot of people to come out and run it, walk it, roll it, whatever you want to do, cheer for you. It's just going to be a great day.
I can't wait.
Anticipating that.
Yeah, I can't wait. So we'll get back to LA Marathon a little bit, but let's go back to your story. I mean, where do we start? I kind of feel like telling your story. Maybe you want to share about how you've raised money or continue to raise money for pancreatic cancer and your father and how you started running.
Yes, thank you. My father, Julie Weiss, he was my biggest fan when I started running, and there was nothing like the joy that he got when he saw me run.
Sure.
And it was always a dream that I would qualify for the Boston Marathon, and we would, he would come and he would cheer me on, and I was running all these marathons, and I was barely getting under 4 hours. That's another story. We'll get there later. But
And can I ask you, when did you said when you started running, when was that?
I started running in 2007.
Okay.
And right here on the beach, could barely run from one lifeguard tower to the next.
Sure. Like most of us at one point.
Right.
Yeah.
Just kept going, one foot in front of the other. I had my dog with me, and then I did a triathlon, after I did that, I signed up for half marathon, and then I was like, what's stopping me from doing a full 26.2 mile marathon, right? So I signed up. I think I started training with the LA Roadrunners in 2007 or 8. Yeah. And my dad was so proud of me, and he actually is the one who told me about the LA Roadrunners, believe it or not.
Wow.
He said, Julie, why don't you go check out the LA Roadrunners? So I did. And I ran all these marathons, and I finally got really close to qualifying, but then sadly my father was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and I told him, you got to hold on. I have another race coming up. You're going to come with me. You're going to see me run it. But sadly, he passed away, and just 35 days after his diagnosis, and
oh my God.
I had this race coming up, and I knew he would want me to do it. And so I ran that race on December 5th at CIM, and I knew he was there with me. And I qualified for Boston that day. I ran a 3:47:19. And
wow.
I mean, who remembers seconds, right? I remember everything about that race, when the stars just aligned that day.
Sure.
And I knew we had done it together. So after that, I thought, I need to do something more. I need to do something big to help people suffering from this disease. This is just not acceptable. So that's when I decided to do something crazy.
Yeah, remarkable. So let's define crazy next. So what was the result of?
Well, crazy good.
Yes.
You could be crazy
Yes.
bad, but you could also
Absolutely.
be crazy good. So I saw on Facebook. Facebook was a thing back
Yes,
then.
it was.
A bigger thing.
Yeah, it was
And
the thing. Yeah.
I saw someone who had done 52 marathons in 52 weeks, and I thought, that's something I could probably do because I knew my body recovered fairly quickly from
Yes.
marathons, and I thought, that's it. I'm gonna run 52 marathons in 52 weeks. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I've got a full-time job. I'm gonna have to run a marathon every weekend and hop on a plane and get back to work by Monday morning. But I had this goal and this passion and this purpose to raise $1 million to help cure pancreatic cancer. So off I went.
Wow.
Running, leaving my kids are older, so it was easier for them. They were 19 and 20
Sure,
at the time.
sure.
And I'd run a marathon, and sometimes in a different city, state, even country. And I most of the time would get back to work on Monday morning unless I needed an extra day here or there. And yeah, it was just there was nothing that was going to stop me. It was just this feeling, this burning desire that I had in my soul to do
Amazing.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this interview all week, and logistically, that's just got to be amazingly tough. But how do you run 52 marathons in 52 weeks? What's your secret?
It's a great question. I drank a lot of coffee. Training for 52 marathons, you can't. I just trained for one, really, and hoped for the best.
Wait, so were they, was it 52 consecutive weeks?
Yeah.
So you literally ran a marathon every Saturday or Sunday for a whole year.
Yes, and life happens. So sometimes I'd miss a weekend, I'd have to double up the next weekend or triple up, like the Tahoe Triple in Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
So there was some of that going on, and
wait, so there were some weekends where you did 2 marathons?
Yes, you'll have to read the book.
We'll
get there later.
Yeah, we'll get there in a second.
But how does someone do that? You spoke with the coach, David,
Yes.
who happens to be my husband, and he was helping me.
Yeah.
And he said, Julie, you're going to have to slow down. You're going to have to run those marathons at least an hour slower than what you're capable of doing.
Right.
So that you stay healthy and
Yes.
injury-free.
Smart.
Yeah.
My wife just qualified for Boston, and her friends that are qualifying for Boston, they have this common thing, and it's just pure mindset. And listening to you, you went into this venture with the mindset that nothing was going to stop you, and that's pretty much part of it, right? The mental aspect.
I believed with every fiber of my soul that I was going to do this. And I knew I was going to do it. I visualized it, and some of the things that I visualized actually happened. It's a lot of things go into this, but I believe, just like when I qualified for Boston on my 19th attempt, I believed with everything, like the mindset. I believed that I could do it. It takes a strong belief in yourself. You have to know that you have to know. You have to believe in yourself. And so I believed in myself when I qualified for Boston. I believed in myself when I set out to do these 52 marathons, and I knew I could do it.
Amazing.
Unless I got a stress fracture or something.
Sure.
But I didn't.
Yeah. And along the way of the 52 weeks, I'm assuming that, you kept talking about raising awareness for pancreatic cancer. Were you getting a lot of support throughout, parts of the country and the world from the media and helping you get the word out?
It started out like anything, kind of slow.
Yeah.
I was running all these races, and I felt like nobody was nobody was noticing. Nobody, it was like wasn't getting a lot of donations.
Yeah.
And about marathon number 5, I was sitting in the Colorado River after a marathon, soaking, like a cold plunge.
That's so good.
And I thought, you know what? While these marathons they're hard and they're kind of fun, but this is not about the marathons. Can't be about me.
Yeah.
This is not about the marathons. This is about the people that I'm running for. And so I reached out to, I think I put a post up on Facebook about, hey, if you're suffering from pancreatic cancer, or if you know someone who has it, or if you lost someone, I want to run for you. I want to run with you. I want to dedicate every single marathon to somebody who had been affected by pancreatic cancer. And that's when everything shifted.
Wow.
Yeah, it was no longer about these marathons. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to know these people. I wanted to run with these people. And so it was so much bigger than myself.
Wow.
And that was just like a journey of love,
Sure.
It was just this beautiful journey that I met so many amazing people and sadly lost some too.
Sure.
But that transformed it.
Sure.
Yeah, in the Colorado River.
Wow. And would some people just come on, run like part of the race with you, or some people actually did run the whole race with you? Or?
Some people met me at the finish line.
Yeah.
A couple of survivors would meet me at the finish line, and I have to tell you about my dear friend Lupe Romero de la Cruz. She was a 7-year pancreatic cancer survivor, and she ran the LA Marathon like 12 times. And sadly we lost her 4 years ago, but she had beat it like 7 times. She was just, she is my soul sister. And every time I look in the sun, I know she's there.
That's so
I know
great.
she's there.
Yeah.
And we ran together, and she is, my book is dedicated to Lupe and to my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Which leads me to, this week I watched Spear of the Marathon
Oh, you
movie,
did?
part 2.
Great.
It was really great.
Fun.
I did enjoy part 1. And real quickly, getting off course here a little bit, I was in Washington, D.C. this year, ran the Cherry Blossom 10 miler.
Oh, fun.
With
Dina
Castor.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I was like, oh my God, Dina Castor. We ran the whole way. We were running like 750s, and for the majority of us, we're kind of huffing and puffing. She talked the whole way because that was an easy pace for her.
Great.
And so we got into a lot of conversation, and I told her I was from LA and I ran with the LA Roadrunners, and the first thing she said was "Marathon Goddess."
Are you serious?
And it was amazing.
Oh my gosh!
This is Dina Castor, one of the greatest runners in the history of women's marathon.
That's nice. She's so nice.
So
she's so nice.
Yeah.
She was in Spirit of the Marathon.
Yes, Spirit of the Marathon, the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she had
And
a
she
cameo
won
in the
Chicago.
Oh, that was epic.
Yeah.
Epic. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so going back to the part 2, I did watch it this week and truly enjoyed it. And it just made me laugh so much because the Italians out there were having so much fun on the course. They were talking in Italian, and you didn't even know what they were saying. And the first guy was like, "Oh, I will marry you. I'm serious." And then I guess at the end, the other Italian man was like, "Stop talking."
Oh my gosh. I know. It's hilarious. Like when the director and the producer, when they were watching it back, they couldn't believe what they were hearing. So yeah, that's like mostly everyone's favorite part of the movie.
Sure.
When the guy tells me to stop talking.
Sure.
But I did have a lot of energy. I'm like, marathons are supposed to be fun, aren't they? I mean, like depends, especially when you're running 52 of them,
Yeah, that's why I think the LA running community and all our friends here in Los Angeles really love about you, Julie, is that movie was funny because no matter, you didn't know what mile you were at, and we're assuming you were close to the end, and you were still hands in the air jumping, and you could see some people in the back, they were working, but you're out there just having a great time. And,
absolutely. I know. Marathons are fun,
yeah,
right?
Of course. Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
It's different. Like if you're gonna be a fast runner and you want to run for a time, you could still have fun, but you probably don't want to be putting your hands up in the air and all the things. But I was just running to raise awareness about curing pancreatic cancer, and also enjoying the journey.
Yeah,
Come on,
of course.
Life is short.
Of course. So I bring up Spirit of the Marathon movie because that was the start of your journey for 52 marathons, right? First one was in Rome.
That's right.
And that started, the time was, the clock was ticking at that point, right?
That's right. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a couple of different races in case this one didn't work out or that one didn't
Yeah.
work out. Like first Boston was going to be the first one.
Yeah.
And then things happen along the way.
Yeah.
So we're like, no, we're going to make Rome the first one
Yeah.
because, I mean, Rome is beautiful.
Yeah.
How, what do they say? All roads lead to Rome.
That's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, and we're going to hopefully get that up on YouTube so people can
Yeah,
check it out.
we're gonna
It's
get
such
it
a
up.
cool movie.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch before a marathon like
Yeah.
the first one.
And that started the journey. And do you remember where you went after that?
Yeah, so I went from Rome and then to Boston.
Okay.
And then I went to San Luis Obispo, which I don't think they have that marathon anymore. The
Okay.
slow marathon, they might. I don't know.
I don't know.
And then it was Big Sur. So there's a lot of people who do Boston to Big Sur.
Yeah.
But mine was Boston and then one in the middle and then Big Sur.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I still have all the medals from all those races.
Oh my gosh.
And then it was like Orange County. I can't believe I still remember them. Then it was Orange County, and then it was off to Colorado. Yeah, so
Wow.
I still remember them.
Did you said you also went out of the country besides Rome?
I
or-
went to Canada. Yeah,
Canada.
for the Toronto Waterfront
Okay.
Marathon. That was cool.
Wow. And so out of that journey, the 52 marathons, was there one race or another race that kind of stood out as a really great race to run?
I mean, I'm very biased to LA, obviously, but
Yeah.
all the races in Hawaii. If you ever get a chance to do a marathon in Hawaii, I mean, because I don't know if you know who Bart Yasso is.
Of course.
Of
Yasso
course.
800s.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So he always says, no matter how bad your marathon is, when you finish, you're in Hawaii, right? So if you get a chance, go to Hawaii.
So you did Honolulu or Kauai? Or?
I did both of them.
Of course you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Maui also.
And Maui, yeah.
And one of the, I have to say, most inspirational marathons, if you get a chance to run Marine Corps,
Oh, yes.
that is, it's really great.
Yeah.
It's usually in October, I believe, and you've got, the Marines out there
Sure.
and
DC.
handing you water
Yeah.
and jelly beans and
Yeah.
telling you like move, so you move.
Yeah.
you know?
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a great one. Marine
Yeah.
Corps is one of my top three, I have to say. Yeah, but LA obviously.
Yeah, so LA was the last marathon in that 52 stretch, right?
Yes.
And that was designed, of course, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
fun because it was on St. Patrick's Day, and this past LA Marathon was also St. Patrick's
Yeah.
Day. Yeah, it was cool. It was I had a whole team with me,
Sure.
and it was epic. We had my dear friend Lupe. She met me at mile 25.
Yeah.
We ran in together. They were singing Mustang Julie.
Yeah.
But the amount of money we raised and the amount of awareness we raised, I mean, it was, and I know my dad was with me.
Sure.
I mean, we raised so much money and so much awareness, but I had not raised the $1 million.
Yeah.
So,
And that was the goal at the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
You say, I want to raise $1 million. And then,
so the Today Show, they ran that, and they're like, for Julie, this is the end. This is the start of the end of a journey to run 52 marathons in 52 weeks. But
wow. So
was
were
really
you
the-
on the Today Show?
yeah,
That's amazing.
but it was really, thank you. It was cool.
yeah.
They just came
was
out.
it
of
like the Matt Lauer days? Or?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But they just came out of nowhere.
Wow.
And like CNN, we got a lot.
Sure.
We got a lot of. It was great. My friend Lawrence Cohen, he's a great
Yeah.
publicist. He actually did a PR for the LA Marathon for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
So when
Yeah.
you have a great publicist, you have a great story. It's a win-win. But
Sure.
but what I was saying is they said this is the end for Julie, but it wasn't. It was actually the beginning of, okay, you raised $200,000 now, great. You still have $800,000 to go, Julie. You're not done yet,
Oh, my
you know?
God.
And so there's no way that I'm going to stop, I was going to stop. never give up, right?
Yeah, yeah. So how much have you raised? Because you're still raising money. You're always on Instagram and
So yeah, I did all kind. I just came up with different ways, different streaks of marathons to keep the journey alive, to keep the awareness going, to keep raising money. And so just last year, we finally got the final amount we needed to go over the $1 million amount.
Amazing.
And it took 10 years, but never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up on a goal. Earl Nightingale said that no matter how long it takes, the time is going to pass anyways.
Sure.
So it's just like a marathon. Just keep going. Just keep at it. So I finally raised, we were over $1 million. I ran with the Hirschberg Foundation for Pancreatic Cancer research these last 5 or 6 years. So, between that charity and Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, we've raised over Project Purple. There's a lot of great charities out there. So.
Yeah. Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, it must be amazing.
And, I'm still raising money. Obviously, we still need a cure. When my dad passed away, the survival rate was only 5% of people will live after 5 years. Now it's up to 13%.
Yeah.
It's still kind of, it still needs work. So we keep going. We got to get that survival rate up. So strive to survive, like Lupe says.
Yeah, amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah. And also a published author. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, this book, 52 marathons, actually 52 weeks, 52 marathons, The Miles and Trials of a Marathon Goddess, with Allie Nolan and John Hance. They were my co-writers, both writers for Runner's World, and they helped me write this beautiful memoir that takes you through, before I started running, as a child, and the whole book is just, it's beautiful. Catherine Switzer wrote the foreword.
She did?
She did,
What?
yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's a beautiful story, and a lot of readers beware because they tell me after they read my book, they want to go run a marathon.
Sure. That's amazing.
So I even have a friend who read it, and she's like running 29 marathons in a year now. I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it's very inspiring.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be really, really good, so that's why I had co-writers, and I'm very proud of it. It's on Amazon. 52 weeks, 52 marathons, The Miles of Trials of a Marathon Goddess. Now we have to get it into a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the Spirit of the Marathon movie, but why not?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're working on that, right?
It's kind of wheels are turning.
Yeah, with Coach in it as well. Yeah.
He could we can get George Clooney to be David, or I don't know. But if we can add value and get inspire people out there by my story, everyone's got a story.
Sure.
And if you can get it out there and help people, why not? You know.
And then you also wrote.
I did. I wrote a children's book. I'm sort of known for saying we got this all the time, but now I find myself saying let's go, because that's what you say.
I say let's go. Yeah. But today I was watching your Instagram. You're like, we got this.
Yeah, but first I said let's go. So now, because people are like, okay, Julie.
Another children's book.
Yeah,
let's go.
I like it. So this is the story of the marathon girl, a girl who grows up with a love for running. And it teaches early elementary school children to do what they love and believe in their dreams. So I really wrote it for my granddaughters, and
that's so
it's
great
for all the children all around the world.
Sure.
And how to put one foot in front of the other, give back to the community, help others,
of course,
and keep going.
And we can buy that on Amazon as well.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we make a movie out of this one. So. That'd be amazing.
Anything's possible. Yeah. Anything's possible. Yeah. Right.
I was watching Spirit of the Marathon movie too, and I didn't realize that Coach David was going to be in the movie.
Oh,
so
how funny.
It was so amazing. Like, I mean, I like the part where you said when you walk away from Coach David, you kind of feel like everything's fine in the world. And he was here recently, and it was just a blast. I mean, it's just so much fun. You must have so much fun with him.
He has that calming effect on people.
Yeah.
He's sort of like the running therapist. Like if you're freaking out about your time or your injury or He's like, everything's going to be okay. Or if you're going to do 52 minutes, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have a great calming effect on people. He's a great coach, the most patient person in the world. And I am very grateful that I have him by my side on this journey.
Yeah. And for those of you listening or new to the channel, Coach David is the official coach at the LA Roadrunners and also Julie's husband. But interesting, I think it was like during our last training season, you said he doesn't coach me anymore because I don't listen to him. Does he still give you coaching tips? Or?
That's funny. He, of course, because he's the nicest guy in the world, right? But I don't want to take up his time. He gave me a schedule. It's really funny. It's in the book. He was so busy working on his own book, he didn't have time for me. And so I just kept showing up at track. I'm like, you got to give me a schedule. Finally, he gave me a schedule, and I followed it. I qualified for Boston, and I had to slow down. I was doing all of the running at race pace. All of my training was at race pace.
Like a lot of new runners, right? Yeah.
And it worked. And then we got married, and then I never listened to him again. I mean,
that's just the way it goes, right?
So he gave me a schedule for the Santa Monica Classic. There's some online as well. So if you want to check those out, I might just follow it this time because now that I've reached this goal, I'm like trying to get fast again.
Yeah.
Why not?
I've noticed on your Instagram that you do post your workouts and you do put at the end, like you're starting to step up, your pace a little bit. And I know you're trying to eventually get back to Boston. Is that?
I would love to qualify for Boston again.
Is that what what the whole plan is?
Yeah, I would love to qualify for Boston at LA.
Yeah. Oh, maybe this LA on the 40th?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And I do remember last training season you telling me, I think I'm going to run with G4 again, which is the 9-minute group over at the LA Roadrunners. And are you coming back to...
I'm close. I ran with Group 6 today.
Okay.
So I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there one step at a time, 1 mile at a time. They're fast. You're fast. I'll get there.
Yeah, you're going to get there.
I still have time.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
And you live with like one of the smartest running coaches in the history of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe I can...
Maybe you should start listening to
Okay.
the coaching part at
I
least.
know, I guess.
Yeah. I also watched this week your TEDx talk. It was just so great. You want
Thank you.
talk about that a little bit, and I'll put the link to the TED talk.
I would love to because this is I really enjoy motivational speaking, and it's wonderful to see the positive impact that it has. When you share your story with others, because here's the thing about athletes. There's elite athletes and then there's, ordinary people like me. I didn't start running until I was 37.
Yeah.
How does an ordinary person do something extraordinary, right?
Yes.
So it makes my story a little more relatable because I was overweight. I was depressed before I started running, and I talk about that in my TED Talk. It's called How to Revolutionize Your Health. And when I started running, I talk about how I embraced not just going for a run, but becoming a runner.
Sure.
It really became a part of who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not just going for a run. I'm a runner. You're not just going for a walk. You're a walker. You're a badass walker. I mean, these walkers out there, walking the whole marathon. So, or if you're going for a swim, you're a swimmer. You're all of the things that I think that is important because it changes the way that you think about exercise. So this is just, it becomes a part of who you are. And then it transformed my life at 37, 38 years old. And it could transform yours too. It's just, it's a mindset shift. And I do have some other corporate events that I've done some speaking for recently. And I have some tools that I share it's just wonderful to see people's eyes light up like, oh, maybe I can do that.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if she can do it, I can do that. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be 52 marathons, but
Yeah.
yeah. And so I really love doing that and sharing my story with other people and just inspiring others that way without, killing myself running a billion marathons. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I just love hearing stories like that. Like, what was, I always want to know what was the one defining moment that made you say, you know what, I'm going for a run, and I did watch, your story. I think it was you were in Hawaii.
That's right.
And
That's
you decided, I'm going to go?
Yeah. I was just tired of feeling like shit. Sorry. But I was so, I was depressed. I was overweight. I was taking like the highest dosage of, antidepressants.
Yes.
Which might have saved my life. They're not bad, but for me, it wasn't working. It was very toxic, and so I thought, that's it. I'm going for a run, and I went out there. I'm like, 20 minutes. I got this, right?
Yeah.
But I'm dying out there. I'm gasping for air. So I'm running, but something inside of me came alive.
Yeah.
I felt this connection to my body, and I talk about that in the TEDx talk. You can check it out on YouTube. But I really felt like I was overcoming all of the obstacles that had led me to that current state. And so when I got home to Santa Monica, I just kept running with my dog, and pretty soon I could run the whole way, from one lifeguard tower to the next, and I just kept running, and I haven't stopped.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned in the talk that it running, when you start to run, it actually start to improve your relationship with your father, right? And isn't that like all of our stories, that our relationships all improve in some way, whether it's, personal work or anything, it's
Yes.
I find that's the common denominator.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. He was so proud of me, and I was proud of myself.
Yeah.
It's a different energy I had, and he was looking at, me doing all these races, going like, that's my daughter, and I'm like, for the first time, I felt really proud of myself, and he was proud of me. And then it was like, okay, Boston. What is this Boston thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that something that he told you, or you kind of knew it already? I can't remember.
I learned from the Roadrunners about Boston.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? The oldest and most prestigious marathon in the world that you actually have to qualify for?
Yeah.
Can I qualify? I didn't think I could do it. I honestly, but as I kept running, I started getting a little faster, and then they changed the times. I think they just made them harder.
I think so. Just maybe 5 years ago, they changed the times, made them faster. I'm kind of feeling like they're going to step it up again, because so many people keep,
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
It's a great problem.
And the buffer keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you've got to not only qualify, you've got to create a 5-minute buffer now.
I know.
So,
but there's always the charities. Remember that.
Always the charities.
If you're not a fast runner and you've always wanted to run Boston, I've run it 3 times, twice on a charity and once, when I qualified.
Yeah.
So there's wonderful charities out there that you can run it with, like 261 Fearless is a great one. Catherine Switzer. I think Project Purple has one. But qualifying, is also fun.
So, and the charities for Boston, they could get a little expensive, but
true. That is true.
I've heard a lot of stories about how you can get in lots of ways with not raising so much money. So I think that's another podcast, but
okay,
we'll talk about that.
But if you do want to raise money, let me just give you a few tips. I mean, I've been raising money for pancreatic cancer research for years, and if you're a new fundraiser out there, there are many ways to get involved. Obviously, social media, and people are going to donate if it's your first time out as a fundraiser, because they look at me and they're like, wow, we already gave to you, Julie. But, family, friends, your employers, there's you can work with brands, and instead of them paying you, they could make donations.
Sure.
So there's a lot of ways to raise money.
Yeah.
And
Or I found the easiest way is just actually picking up the phone and calling them and asking them personally. It always works.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The bulk emails never kind of get responses.
Right, that's true. It's a personal connection, and reaching out to your family or friends that way is also wonderful. And, I thought I was going to raise that $1 million in a year. you know, but I would get, you know, little donations, $5, $10, but I'm grateful for every single dollar because it all means so much.
Yeah.
You know, every dollar counts because everybody's got a story, and everybody, you know, the support and the collaboration is just a beautiful thing. And that's what I also talk about. I have 7 C's that I talk about in my speech. They're cool. One is collaboration.
Sure.
You know, I could never have done this alone.
Of course.
Community, you know.
Community. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Takes a tribe. You're right.
I won't give the other ones away.
Okay.
But,
You have to watch it. And if they want to, you're still raising money for pancreatic cancer. They could go to your website, right?
You can go to my website, marathongoddess.com, and donate there. It takes you directly to the Hirschberg Foundation for Pancreatic Cancer Research.
Yeah.
Yes. Or you could go to pancreatic.org. You could donate there.
Yeah.
And they also have a training team, Hirschberg Training Team, which is an official charity for the LA Marathon.
Oh, that's great.
So I run with them and the Roadrunners every year.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they meet on, I think, in Marina Del Rey. But yeah,
Oh, they do.
there's so many wonderful programs out there.
Yeah. You know, I always thought it was just TMF, is it?
TMF.
Yeah.
Right.
The only charity, but after having Lucy here, she was telling me it was like 90 or almost 90 charities.
Wow, that's
so
great.
I didn't know that, you know, there were so many that you can join for LA Marathon.
Yes.
And that's one of them.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. Yes. So speaking of LA Marathon, so next year, let's go back to LA Marathon. Next year, the 40th running. So real quick, you said you started running in 2007, right? And how many marathons have you run to date total?
117 marathons.
Okay,
117.
That's amazing. Like minus the 52 in a year where you went on a journey that nothing was going to stop you. That's still a lot of marathons.
It is a lot of marathons.
Yes.
It is.
Like, were you doing like 3, 4 a year, 5 a year?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kept the streak alive. You know, even when I was like, I think I did like 12 in a year, and then I did 11. You know, I just kept coming up with ways to raise awareness by running more marathons.
Wow.
But yeah, that's a lot. And I just counted how many LA marathons I had done.
Yes, that was going to be my next question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 40th
Yes.
running of the Los Angeles Marathon will be my 18th marathon, LA Marathon,
Yeah.
and my 118th marathon.
Wow.
So isn't that cool?
That's so cool.
I just thought it was
That's so
cool.
great.
18 and 118, I like it. So this is going to be the year that I go, I don't know, maybe a little faster.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah.
The number 18 is kind of spiritual number. And so I am excited about that. And last year was my 117th, and it was on the 17th. I like the number thing.
Yeah, it's
The number
something. Coincidence is a big
52
thing
marathons,
here.
52
Yeah.
weeks.
And you know, off the record, we haven't said it, but you may qualify for Boston next year at the LA Marathon.
I'm going to do everything I can. Even after talking to you, you're so inspiring. Like, you're making me like believe in myself again that I can do this. It's a lot of training.
Yeah.
And as we get older, it's not as easy anymore,
It
right?
is not.
Right?
It is not.
But
No.
I'm excited about it, and there's still time. So,
Yeah.
yes.
It's true. But I kind of feel like even as we are getting older, as long as we keep the mindset up here, you know, it does kind of overpower a little bit.
That is very true. And just remember how lucky we are
Yeah.
to be able to run. How lucky and grateful. Stay grateful. Stay in
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah.
Because what a gift it is
Yeah.
to be able to run, to be
Yeah.
able to move your body. We don't have to qualify for Boston. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, if that's your thing, sure. But, you know, what's most important is that you just enjoy the moment that you're in. You enjoy the mile that you're in.
Yeah.
Don't get carried away, you know, because
Sure.
that's exhausting.
Yeah,
Been
yeah.
there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I still believe, though, that if you run that much, you've ran, 12 in a year, there's something that you're doing right. And can you share any tips to runners who are trying to run one marathon a year, several marathons a year? Because you are doing something correctly in terms of recovering to be able to do that, because I've done 12 or 13 in a year and it beat me up.
Yeah, there's also genetics. not everyone can do 52 marathons in 52 weeks. You know, I must have some good genetics.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, we'll elaborate more on that in a second. Yeah,
but I think a big part of it is slowing down your runs and
Sure.
not going all out. You have to just, if you're new to running, you want to just go out for 30 minutes, keep your heart rate down, walk, run, and keep it fun, which is Coach David's thing. You know, rule number 1 is you have to have fun.
Yep.
But I do have protein after every run that I do because I think that's really important. And but I still make mistakes. Today I didn't have my gel with me at mile 10 on.
Yeah, when I first ran with you didn't have any gel. I gave you one of my Martins that day.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I still think I'm like invincible or something.
Right.
But no, it's so important to fuel. It's so important to take care of yourself and put yourself first. You know, you really need to take care of yourself. Otherwise, it's kind of like when you get on a plane, the whole oxygen mask metaphor.
Yeah.
You have to take care of yourself first, and then you can give back to other people.
Sure.
Yes. So like make sure you're fueling correctly, make sure you're doing some stretching, strength training. I've recently started doing more strength training, especially as you get a little older.
Okay.
Strength training is almost like speed work.
Yeah. Were you doing it strength training back then in the 52?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. As much as I could. It was all about recovery and going to work and not getting injured.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of it, but I was also much younger. Like 11 years younger or something.
But
so
still, even at, late 30s, you were still able to do that. I mean, that's still, there's something you're doing right. I mean, I'm always intrigued by people who have run over 100 marathons. I always want to know and want them to tell runners, what they're doing. Does sleep play a very important role?
Sleep is huge. Sleep is night and day.
Right.
I mean, it's sleep. That's a great question. I mean, a lot of people have trouble sleeping. I know I did for years, for years and years and years, but I would run marathons without sleep. I've done a lot of that, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Right.
But the technical part of it, the sleeping, the fueling, Coach David has got all that stuff for you. I think I'm here to tell you about the mindset. I think it's the positive mindset.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yeah.
It can change everything,
Absolutely.
And remember how lucky you are that you get to run. You don't have to run.
Yeah.
And that's that's I think a big part of what keeps me going,
Sure.
And knowing that how great you feel after a run or a walk. If you miss your morning exercise, you're going to you would have had a better day if you got out there. And that's a big part of what gets me out there is the mindset, because you come back at like a different person and you're ready to take on whatever comes your way.
Sure.
Because you've already gone out there and taken care of yourself.
Right. Yeah. So, LA Marathon, how many different courses have you run?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I did. There was one downtown, my first one.
Yeah.
Or two. I did two downtown. Started at like I don't even know where I was. I just took the half asleep on a metro.
Yeah.
I remember taking the train
To Universal City.
Yeah.
And then it ended in downtown, I think, right?
Yeah. I was like, remember my name.
Yeah.
This is my first. I'm gonna win it. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I went out way too fast, right? My first marathon, probably like all the people make that newbie mistake of going out too fast, and I hit the wall at mile 12.
12.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had to like shuffle the next 14 miles. My ex-husband came out there and he didn't even recognize me. Yeah, he's like,
wow, 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, that was that one. And then of course the one that starts Stadium to the Sea.
Stadium to the Sea.
And then I've done the Stadium to the Stars. About how many? Is this going to be the fourth one? I think.
Yeah.
2000. Yeah. So I've done about 4 different courses.
Yeah.
The LA Marathon.
I think I have 2.
Yeah.
4.
Oh, cool.
Different ones. And I always tell people, if I could go back and just choose one, it was the one that started in downtown and ended in downtown. Only because it was my first one, and
Very
so
cool.
I think it's nostalgia, and you always want to go back to that, you
Yeah,
know.
and that's LA.
Yeah.
You know, it's all LA.
Stadium to See was really great, no question. Got to finish and then put your legs in the water. But this new course, I've seen a huge change, you know, over the years. There are so many people last year, right? All the running clubs. It was just so bonkers. Wouldn't you agree? Like how crazy it was.
Yeah,
was-
I love it.
Yeah, it's just
Isn't it
amazing.
fun?
You can't even hear yourself think. It's just unreal.
Especially on Santa Monica Boulevard and San Vicente.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're out there supporting you and cheering you on, giving you energy.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you know, when I was training for LA Marathon last year, I usually run early 5 a.m. because the streets are empty in Pasadena.
Good.
I live in Pasadena, and I like to run in the middle of the road. I don't like to run on the sidewalks. So 5 a.m. no one's out there. So I'd get up at 4, sit down, have some coffee, and watch this guy posted a video of the LA Marathon course. I guess he had maybe a GoPro on his helmet, and he runs the whole course. And I would just watch it while, you know, I was trying to wake up before my daily runs. And you could see the difference in that video. In the crowds in these videos, there's very little. This is back probably in the very beginning of the Century City course,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And last year's race was just unbelievable. I was just telling Lucy, you know, the program coordinator for the LA Roadrunners, just what an amazing job she's done, because she's the one pulling all these running clubs into the course, and it was just spectacular. I mean, just unbelievable.
The energy.
Yeah.
I know.
The energy is immense. So, I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
I love that. I love the crowd support we have with all those running clubs and the community. We've got the Pacers out there. We've got even my charity has the Purple People Party.
Yes.
I don't know if you noticed that. It was about mile 17.
Rodeo Drive,
Yeah,
probably.
around there somewhere.
Yes.
And if you think that was special, wait till the 40th running of the Los Angeles Marathon,
Okay.
because it's going to be
Yeah.
that plus so much more. And that energy just gives you energy.
Yeah.
When you need it,
Yeah.
you know, especially mile 19, 20.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's magical.
Unbelievable out
Right?
there. Yeah, that course is just...
You did great.
It's getting crazy. Yeah, I had so much fun out there. I just went out there to go have a good, fun time. And I made this funny mistake. I always tell my wife that, you know, or you understand this as well, is, you know, we get to like mile 20 and you start to do math in your head and you're not even close because you're so tired, kind of, right? I was way off. I thought you know what? I think I could go sub 4 at this point, because I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to go have fun and enjoy this course. And I miscalculated so bad
no.
from tired math and came up, you know, 3 minutes short. But,
Oh,
yeah.
that's fine. You
But
still
it was
did
fun,
great.
yeah.
I know this is my interview, but how do you do it?
Do what?
How do you run? I mean, you've done a lot of races and marathons, and you looks like you're effortless.
Genetics. Yeah. My parents were both marathon runners. I grew up in this sport.
I
so
see.
they ran marathons, and my earliest memories are of them running at a high school track, and my brother and I, very small, playing in the middle so that they can watch us while they ran, because they needed to
see.
run, you know.
So, gotcha.
That's genetics.
I see.
Yeah,
No,
so-
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for those of us, you know, like I think I have good genetics too,
Yeah.
but you know, I'm not like fast like you. I think that as an ordinary person, you know, I was not athletic
Yeah.
in school at all.
Sure.
I didn't run track. I didn't, no running, no
Yeah.
nothing. In fact, I was pregnant when I was 17.
Sure.
I mean, I didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
So, but it's just,
And those are a lot of the stories, actually, in the running community.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of people who picked up running in their late 30s, even 40s. And, you know, it's changed their lives. And that's the beauty of running, you know, and especially the running community. You meet so many amazing people who, you know, caught on to this and understand, and it is just so much mutual respect, you know.
100%. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And now with all the clubs that are just popping up all over the place,
Yeah.
it's so great to see. There's a club, probably like there's a lot of them, and now we've got LA Roadrunners in Balboa Park, and there's some great clubs in the Valley I saw over there.
Yes,
and,
there's great clubs.
Yeah, everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So if you want to reach out, just Google running clubs, and
Yeah.
you'll get like a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important to remember that this is another quote, and I always say that you're never too old, never too young to set a new goal or dream a new dream. You know, if I didn't start running till I was 37, 38, I mean, you're never too old. You can just pick it up now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just remember that. There's so many things that are still possible.
Yeah. I love that. LA Marathon ambassador. You've been an ambassador for LA Marathon for how many years now?
Well, I was, before they had ambassadors.
Yeah.
I was the first official ambassador.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was back when in my 2000, when I was finishing the 52.
Yeah.
I was told I was an ambassador. I'm like, that is cool.
And you're the first one. There wasn't an ambassador program?
No, there wasn't. And so I've been an ambassador almost every year. I think I took a couple of years off when I was writing the book.
Sure.
But just such an honor to
Yeah.
be an LA Marathon ambassador.
What is the experience like? Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, they're very generous. You know, being an LA ambassador. You can edit that out. The LA. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So
There you go.
being an LA Marathon ambassador is such an honor because you get to represent this beautiful race, your favorite race. You know, you've it's become just something that I'm super proud of. And if you can apply every year to be an ambassador if you want, but to be there to inspire other runners, to cheer on other runners, and to represent this running community with these races and all these charities. And we've got an amazing group of ambassadors now to be a part of this, again, the community with these ambassadors. They're so fun, all different walks of life, and we've all got stories to share. We've all come to the start line from, our stories are all different, but again, in the marathon, it's a beautiful thing because we're all there together with one common goal. And as an LA Marathon ambassador is to share the love and the beauty and the experience of this amazing marathon and the Rose Bowl half and the Santa Monica Classic and the LA Roadrunners and all the training that goes into it, the highs, the lows, and to be there for each other and to be there for, the runners and help them on their way as an ambassador and show them that they can do it.
Sure.
We've done it. You can do it. We're here to help you. We're cheering for you. We're supporting you.
Yeah.
And you got this.
Yeah. You got this.
Right?
All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
They work well together.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We got this.
So no wonder why when I think of LA Marathon ambassadors over the years, I always think of you. And it's no wonder you were the first one. So and you've been pretty much an ambassador for quite a while. So
yeah, I know it's been an incredible honor, and I feel so lucky.
Yeah.
To represent my favorite race. I even got the Golden Star last year, where like 22,000 people ran over my name at the finish line.
That's so
They put
cool.
the star there. It's really, really what an honor that
That's
was.
so great.
Yeah, they do that,
Yeah.
and that was nice.
Yeah. Favorite LA Marathon moment over the years? Maybe one or two if you can.
Okay, so obviously, running my 52nd marathon in 52 weeks was epic.
Yes.
But the you know what I'm going to say, right?
Yes, I do.
I got engaged at the LA
Yes.
Marathon finish line, and it was pretty funny because David and I were casually talking about, we'd broken up. We were engaged before. We'd broken up because running 52 marathons is going to make you crazy, right?
Right.
So I kind of was like, all right, David, well, are we going to get back together? Are you going to propose to me? Because he had the ring. I didn't have the ring anymore.
Yeah.
And I would, if you do propose to me, David, can you propose to me at the finish line of the LA Marathon? And he's like, really? I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. So I really didn't think he was going to do it. I just kind of like put it out of my head. I was like, yeah, whatever. He's not going to do it. And plus security was crazy because, you know, it was after Boston, you know. So, oh my gosh. So I'm running this race. It's 90 degrees. I'm trying to qualify for Boston again. And it was too hot, you know, but I see in the corner of my eye, David, here comes David. Out of the crowds, and he doesn't have a bib on, and the people are like, you know, they've got these people at the finish line that will kick you out, you know, and
of course the bandits
out, and like David, he's running with his ring in his hand or it's on his finger or something. This is what he tells me, and he was just terrified that he was going to get clobbered, and he sees this woman with the sign, bandits, exit now, and he's running by her, and then she's like, oh, David, go ahead.
Yeah.
So she let David go, and I finished the race, and I turned around, and before I knew it, he's on his knees, and he proposing to me at the finish line, and it was a beautiful thing. I may not have qualified for Boston that day, but I got the ring back. So it was pretty exciting.
And you were probably a bit surprised too, right?
Surprised and delirious.
Yes.
All
I was just going to ask you, what was that like? You know, you cross the finish line of a race, you're just like, oh God.
Yeah.
And then your fiance is on his knees.
I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? Okay.
But you asked for it, right?
I did. I totally asked for it. And, you know, David, it was beautiful. It really was. Even though it was delirious and it was hot, I mean, it just made me think about, you know, what really matters.
Sure.
Like love.
Sure.
Love.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yes. Yeah. And we share the same story. You know, I got engaged at the LA Marathon as well. So it was mile 13, but
is that your favorite mile?
Well, that's where, you know, I actually met my wife in the LA Marathon, like actual running. That's where I met her.
That's so cute.
At mile 13. So it was only fitting to, you know, propose to her at the same place we met. So, yeah.
Did she have any idea?
She had no clue.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it was actually during the COVID year. And we were both signed up to run. And she was kind of, you know, uncertain about running the race because they were uncertain at that point whether to do it or not. The whole nation wasn't sure.
Right.
I think they had canceled a marathon 2 weeks prior or something in the other side of the country. And she pulled out of the race. And it was just like, well, there goes my plan. You know, I was going to propose to her. I had begged her to show up to mile 13 to see me run. And she says, no, I'm not going to go. And it's like, please, just go, please.
Oh, so she showed up.
She showed up.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank God.
That's so cute.
So I was telling Coach David that I got on my knee, proposed, and all the runners stopped and cheered, and there was a banana guy jumping in the back.
So
you know,
great.
the banana guy every year.
The banana guy.
Yeah,
now he has new meaning.
Yeah,
did David share our engagement story
he
too?
He did, yeah.
The same story?
I wanted to hear your take on it.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Except, you know,
But I heard his side.
He's funnier. He has a way with, I mean, he was just.
Yeah. He had a really great, rock story on his knees.
Oh, so, and then he's got a camera in his face, and it's
KTLA,
like, oh my gosh. Yeah. You can actually still see it on KTLA.
Yeah.
If you Google that.
That's what he was saying.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was a little embarrassing, but I asked for it again, and but it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful, and yours too.
Yeah, it was.
That you met your wife running the LA Marathon.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's part of our stories, you know. And LA Marathon means so much to you. Same for me. You know, I went there as a little kid to watch my parents run it. So to be a part of LA Marathon every year, it's more than just lining up. It's for my parents. It's where I met my wife. It's our community. It's Los Angeles. Right?
Oh, that is beautiful.
It's very similar to you.
That is beautiful. I feel the same way. Yeah, I get chills every time they play the Randy Newman song. I love LA. I mean, there's nothing like that. And I still cry at the finish line. I mean, start line. And sometimes the finish line too, depending. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
This year, do you have any? I always talk about this LA Marathon, of course, being a little tough because I'm back in some parts. Mile 20, you're kind of going uphill. Any tips you have? Best way to conquer this course?
Well, I think the best way to conquer this course is you've got to run it. It's the end is uphill.
Yeah.
So you've got to conserve your energy, as Coach David will tell you.
Yes.
And I, as much as we want to do negative splits, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You want to take the first half really, really slow, so
Yeah.
you've got enough energy to run the second half. The hills and the first 6 miles are crucial to your success in this marathon. You want to make sure you're listening to your breathing and that you are conserving your energy, and let the people pass you on those hills.
Yes.
Let them pass you. You're going to pass them later on
Yeah.
if you run this race right. I've this year's marathon, I just kind of had a knee injury, so I took it easy the whole race.
Yeah.
But I had energy at the end because I did that,
Yeah.
So if you run this race conservatively in the first, definitely the first 6, the first half. I know you did that too.
Yes.
Until mile 20, and you
Yeah.
had energy that you
Complete.
could take off,
Yeah.
right? And also make sure that you're fueling. Every what does he say, 45 minutes or so. Make
Yep.
sure you've got your gels. You've got, depending on the weather, your electrolytes, all the things. But also remember your purpose and remember why you're doing this. Why are you doing this? Always go back to your why. If you're ever hitting a hard spot and you're running for someone else or you're running for something, remember that they would give anything to be there running with you.
Sure.
If you're running for someone, and that purpose and that passion will fuel you to keep you moving, even when you don't think you can. I mean, I was on top of a mountain today, and I'm thinking about Jocelyn, who's out there running 100 miles right now. We love you,
Western
Jocelyn.
States. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Western States. And I'm like, so you think of other people and who inspire you, or think of why you're running. It's so important to remember that. And it'll change, like physically, your body. You'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, I got this. But also do take a gel.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
The combination
Sure.
will be magical.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great advice.
Yeah.
And I think that applies to maybe any marathon, Be conservative.
100%.
Yeah.
The only negative split I
Yeah.
ever ran was when I qualified for Boston.
Yeah.
And, it depends on the race.
Sure.
But I think that's the way to do it. I really do. And I'm hoping to do that again
Yeah.
in 2025.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah, the fire's burning again.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So what's next for Marathon Goddess?
Well, like I said, I've been doing motivational speeches. Can you say that again? Okay. So I love doing motivational speaking. I have a couple of corporate events coming up, and I have, this story that I can share with others, and it's so rewarding to see, like I said, the positive impact that it has on whether it's runners or a company or, whatever type of business you have. These tools can apply to everyone. So I do more speaking these days.
That's great.
And, I'm just running, I shouldn't say just, but, one marathon a year maybe. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And I'm okay with that because it's just, it's not just, but it's training. I can really put myself and my training first and make sure that I'm ready to go into this race prepared.
Yeah.
And feeling good. So yeah, I'm just cutting it down to like one marathon a year, maybe some 10Ks, maybe some halves. I'm still raising money with the Hirschberg Foundation, and I'm just getting my story out and sharing the inspiration, sharing the love, in hopes that if there's something that you want to do in life, I want you to know that you can do it. I hope my story inspires you to go for it.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if anyone wants to reach out to you to inquire about speaking engagements, they can reach you at
Julie at marathongoddess.com. You can go to my website. You can go to my Instagram.
Yeah.
And I would love to be there for you, to help you on your journey and to help your company and to inspire those, and know that really, if I can do this, anything is possible.
Yeah. or even just if you're watching or listening, just runners in general, you can always message Julie. She's very accessible. She's one of the greatest people you will meet, and I know that she would respond to you and send you some nice messages.
Absolutely, yes, I can.
And Instagram, it's Marathon Goddess.
Marathon Goddess, right.
And then also the book can be found at Amazon, both books.
Yeah, they're on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. 52 weeks, 52 marathons, the miles and trials of the Marathon Goddess. And we got this, and let's go. That's the next book. Let's go.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Julie, thank you for coming on today. I truly appreciate it. You've been an inspiration to me. I think I've told you this many times. So you've inspired me so much. And part of this whole setup here is part of, taking a little bit of everyone's stories, including your own. So thank you for taking the time today. And,
Thank you.
I look forward so much to us, the next training season at the LA Roadrunners starting in September.
Absolutely.
We should probably talk about that real quick. Starts September.
Yeah, in the middle of September, right around the Santa Monica Classic time. Is a time where we could, I think it's like a week after the Santa Monica Classic. The Roadrunner training begins. We'll have a date for you soon.
Yes.
But that's exciting. Come and join us, everyone. We have so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. And we work out, we run from the Santa Monica location, but there's also Griffith Park and now Encino on
Balboa
Sundays.
Park on Sundays. And Griffith Park.
We meet on Saturdays. And if you're in the Los Angeles area, please come out. If you're a first timer thinking about trying to attempt a marathon, this is the perfect program for you because it's tailored for beginners, new runners. Also, if you're an experienced runner, it is also tailored to you as well, right? It's just an incredible group of pace leaders. We have Coach David.
Yes, and there's levels for everyone. We have run only groups. We have run walk groups. We have walk only.
Walker, yes.
Yeah, so there are levels for everyone to come out, and it just makes the miles fly by. It makes them so much more fun.
Yeah.
And you really look forward to your training.
Yes.
And that's a big part of enjoying the journey because sometimes, at a race anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the race. What matters is, the journey that you went on to get there.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So.
And there's also other LA Marathon ambassadors there, which is a lot of fun because they're all enthusiastic. And then the best part is you get to run at the beach.
Oh my gosh.
It's the greatest ever.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So again, Julie, thank you so much for coming, taking the time. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
But again, my goal this year for LA Marathon is to make this race accessible to everybody. And part of my mission this year is I am raising money to help people who cannot financially pay for registration for LA Marathon. So if you are someone that may need assistance and you would like to run the 40th running of LA Marathon, you can go to my website, RizzoRunClub.com. You can click on contact. You can leave your name and send me a message, and I will do my best to make sure we get you registered for the marathon next year based on, of course, donations coming in. Also, if you are someone who would like to donate and help the LA running community with members run next year, excuse me, or corporations, you can, again, go to RizzoRunClub.com. There are several donations there from $5 to $1,000, and 100% of the proceeds will go to pay for someone to run the LA Marathon next year. Also, I should also remind you that if you are someone that needs assistance, any information that you share with me will be 100% confidential. It will never disclose your name unless you'd like to come here and tell your story, of course. But, again, RizzoRunClub.com. Let's help you get to the start line at the LA Marathon next year. The best way to support this channel is to subscribe and like. But, again, my name is Rizzo, and we'll see you on the next one.
Let's go.
Let's go. I love that. Let's go.
Yay.
This episode was self-produced and filmed in Venice, California. Special thanks to Lauren Hiltzer and his production company, HK Corp, for allowing us to film at their office. The best way to support this channel is to subscribe and like. If you are interested in sponsoring an episode, you can contact me at rizzo@rizzorunclub.com. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.